Hello Pips, hello, it's Monday afternoon and here we are for another Claire's Business Shoey afternoon like we have done for the last few weeks. So what is Feng Shui? How can Feng Shui, that Eastern philosophy, can actually help you feel good, feel more confident, really help, optimizing your workspace, optimizing your home environment will really help you to feel better in yourself, and you'll be able to give amazing customer service to other people. You'll be able to really kind of thrive in your life, and this is some tips for you. But before we start, really kind of giving you tips on Feng Shui tips, you need to really understand the principles of it. And so the last few weeks and today again, I want to share with you one of the biggest principles from, the Feng Shui. And so we talked about Qi, we talked about the energy, right? We talked about yin and yang last week. And this week we are going to be looking at the 5 elements. Yes, 5 elements, right? So what's happening in China, their new nature is just beautiful. And what we need to do is actually bring that Mother Nature from the outside to the inside, so we can create better environment in ourselves, in our lives. And how do we do that? So there's 5 elements that we need to look at. The first one is the wood. Yes, wood element is it's anything to do with growth and development, and grow the wood. Yes, you water it and then it's going to grow big and strong. So you need some wood element into your space. Number 2, what does the wood do? Well, the wood actually activates and feeds the fire. Yes, so when you have, a fire, you put some wood in and it's going to activate it, right? So wood feeds fire. Then we have number 3, it's that earth element. And earth element, of course, when fire is extinguished, when fire finishes, it will feed the earth. And this is our 3rd element, when we're actually looking at the nourishing and how they're all supporting each other. Fire supports fire, wood supports fire, fire supports earth. When earth supports inside, we're supporting the metal underneath those earthy, you've got all those metal elements who are growing and developing inside that we can't see any about. Okay, and the last one, metal support water. So there's people who say that metal actually holds water, but really when you think about it, when you condense metal so hard, it actually become water. And a friend of mine, a Feng Shui expert, Justin, explained it to me another way. And she said, when you're looking at cars and when you get up in the morning and it's been very, very cold, you've got condensation on the car, and that's what the metal does. It condensates and it becomes water. So you can see those 5 elements are here, and they actually all working together. So when you're in your environment, I really would like you to look if you have a little bit of each of those elements within each of your home, actually, each of your bedrooms, each of your, kitchen, living room, your office. It can be just a little pot plant, which then would have already some soil in, the plant in, and the water. You already have 3 elements there with, 1 pot plant, which is amazing. So pot plant is a great thing to do, to have, bring a bit of fire. This could be just a candle or just lighting up a light. This is a nice part, of the fire. Wood, we've got plant, earth, soil, metal. It could just be anything metal. You could have a pot plant which is metal and that will do it. You could have chimes which makes noises and that will do it. and then a little bit of water. So you don't have to have a jug of water. You could have a nice picture of water that would represent water. Anything black or anything dark, deep blue is anything to do with water. So when we think about water, the water is very emotional, right? So we want to think, we don't want to be too much of any of them, because too much will give too much water. Oh, you know, you're starting being too emotional, you're starting to think inside, you're starting to really isolate yourself if you got too much water. If you have too much fire, maybe too much fire would be, you know, you just here, there and everywhere. You can't concentrate, you're always on the go because there's too much fire in your home. Or you could be, you know, maybe too much earth, a bit too grounded. And then in that case, you're a bit too sluggish, procrastination. Maybe you're not doing much work. Okay, so each of the elements needs to be in a balance for you to feel good in your environment. So there's a couple of tricks with the elements. The way I showed you this way, it's the way where they're nourishing each other. Okay, one nourish the other and they're going round on a circle, and you want a little bit of each of the elements to actually activate the other one. There's another circle, which is actually the controlling circle. And actually, we look at the controlling cycle from another perspective. So for example, if you think about fire, what would control fire? Well, actually, if you think about it, water extinguishes fire, okay? So if you had maybe too much fire in your element, you may want to bring some water, which would completely turn it down, or you may just want to reduce it. And actually, as an earth element, the earth will also be reducing the space of the fire. Okay, so if we look at the fire, water will control it or reduce it. They all have another cycle. Okay, so the wood and the earth will go together. The wood consumes the earth. Then you have the fire. If you're looking at the metal, you know, the fire cuts the metal, melts the metal even. That's a better things to say. And then the metal will cut the wood. So that's another way to think about it. Okay, so each of the elements nourish each other or reduce each other or control each other. So when you're looking at your space and you can't find the balance, it's nice to be able to add something or remove something, or add something which will be controlling another element. Because you can't, you know, all the time add or repaint everywhere in a space, but you can add some elements or remove some elements so you can have a better balance between your 5 elements. I know it does get a little bit complicated, and that's why today I had the flip charts because it's easier when you're looking at it, and it's also easier sometimes if you ask a question. So if you have any questions and you want to ask, you know, anything, please go ahead and put it in the comments. It's lovely to see you here. Hello Virginia, thank you very much for joining. Sunjing, thank you very much for being here. It's lovely to have you here. If you have any questions, go ahead, put it in the comment box. Hello Alison, it's nice to have you here as well. Because the 5 element is a big part of the Feng Shui and creating a harmonious environment. So any question, fire away, did you see that one? And let me know, I would love to help you. And if you want a 15 minutes Feng Shui audit for free, I will do that as well. You can send me a photo, I will look at your office and I'll give you 3 smart Feng Shui tips for your office. I think that's all for now. I look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye for now. Bye.